Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we will be learning about the poem Narrow Fellow in the Grass written by Emily Dickinson. Before we start, let us look at what we will be doing in this video. We will be learning about the poet, introduction of the poem, analyzing the poem. We will be looking at the summary of this poem. We will be looking at the contrast between each para. We will be discussing the various themes of this poem, and also we will be discussing about the figures of speech which include poetic devices. So let's start about the poet. The poet, Emily Dickinson, was a prolific American poet known for her unconventional, concise style, exploring themes of death, immortality, nature, and spirituality. She lived a largely reclusive life, publishing only a handful of her approximately 1,800 poems during her lifetime before becoming a foundational figure in American literature. So now let's look at the introduction of this poem. A Narrow Fellow in the Grass is a renowned poem detailing a childhood encounter with a snake, disguised until the final realization that uses the image of an encounter with a snake to explore the nature of fear and anxiety, especially the fear of deceit. Like the proverbial snake in the grass, this snake is a creature of secretive, treacherous menace. It can be both friendly and menacing, familiar and strange, welcoming and violent. And in his reaction to the snake, the speaker shows that he is not separate from the natural world. So you will understand better as we go deeper into the poem. So let us start by analyzing the poem stanza wise. I'll be doing the explanation line by line based on each stanza. Kindly make a note of the important points and keywords. A Narrow Fellow in the Grass, stanza 1. A narrow fellow in the grass occasionally rides. So the snake always passes through the grass. A narrow fellow in the grass refers to the snake. So the physical appearance of the snake is narrow and it often rides through the grass. You can see it moving through the grass occasionally, that is very often. You may have met him, did you not? His notice sudden is. So the poet is asking the reader if he knows it. It can be noticed quickly because of its movement. So the poet is asking the reader if you have met the snake. And why does he ask? Because it is very easy to notice the snake. It is very easy to take notice of the snake because of its movement. His notice suddenness, which means the movement of the snake is very sudden and it's very quick. And so it is very easy to take notice of its movement. So the poet is saying that everyone, the reader, the poet, all of us have seen a snake because of its quick movement and it often rides through the grass. I hope this is clear. Let us move on to the second stanza. Stanza 2. The grass divides as with a comb, a spotted shaft is seen. So when the snake passes, the grass divides. I hope you can imagine this scene. There's grass, there's a field of grass and a snake, a narrow figure just passes through it occasionally and very sudden, and the grass seems to be dividing, like how we use a comb. It you can see the grass divides. Why? Because of the movement of the narrow fellow. Something long and narrow can be seen. A spotted shaft is seen. So something very narrow and long is spotted. And then it closes at your feet and opens further on. So this is the same thing happens. Again it passes, the grass divides and you can see it because of its movement, and opens further on means it continues. The process again repeats. I hope this is clear. Let us move on to the third stanza. Stanza 3. He likes a bogey acre, a flow too cool for corn. So the snake likes a wet and marshy land that is used to grow corn. He hides between the grasses. But when a boy and barefoot, I more than once at noon. So the poet creates a boy and puts her ideas into him. So here the boy is barefooted, that is, does not have slippers, and passes the snake more than once. So the poet says that when the poet was young and was a boy, and did not have slippers, which gives us a sort of village, sort of rural, background. I more than once at noon, which means he has seen the snake more than once. Occasionally, right? So, and because of its sudden notice, it's very easy to notice the snake and has often seen the snake more than once. I hope this is clear. Let us move on to the fourth stanza. Stanza 4. Have passed, I thought, a whiplash, unbraiding in the sun. So he is so thin and narrow that the snake looks like a whip when he passes. I hope you know what's a whip. It's very narrow and long. Such is the speed of his movement. So this is actually telling us about the physical appearance. It's as thin and long as a whip and unbraiding in the sun. It is the speed of his movement. When stooping to secure it, it wrinkled and was gone. So when the young boy tries to catch it, it gets scared and quickly passes by. So the boy is not able to catch the snake. Rather, it just, it's scared and it tries to move away quickly. I hope this stanza is clear. Let us move on to the fifth stanza, stanza 5. Several of nature's people I know and they know me. So nature's people refers to the animals, the different wild animals, the snakes, the birds, the creatures, right? Everything that belongs to nature. That's what nature's people refers to the wild or domestic animals, everything. That's nature. I know and they know me. He says that he is an animal lover. He has good relationship with them. He knows all the animals and they also know him. He has good relationship and it is very easy for him to connect with them or to communicate with them. I feel for them a transport of cordiality. So he maintains a very cordial relationship. There's a good relationship between the nature's people and this boy, right? They have good communication and good connection as well. So let us move on to the sixth stanza. But never met this fellow attended or alone, which means the speaker has seen all the other animals but has never seen this snake, neither with others nor alone. It is also scared of the snake. Without a tighter breathing and zero at the bone, which means this speaker is not able to breathe because of fear and deep chill inside the body. So never met this fellow, has never got the opportunity to see this snake attended or alone. Even with a group or alone, never seen this person. And without a tighter breathing, very nervous and not able to breathe. Why? And because of fear and deep chill inside the body and zero at the bone. Now we all know how a snake moves or how is the movement of a snake, it wrinkles, right? So it's zero at the bone, does not have a bone. And so it wrinkles and that's why zero at the bone. The snake does not have a perfect shape. I hope this is clear. So here we come to the end of the explanation of all the 6 stanzas. I hope I made each and every line clear. So let us move on to the summary of this poem. The speaker introduces a skinny gentleman who travels through the grass and suggests that the reader might have encountered this fellow themselves. He tends to take people by surprise. His body parts the grass like a comb, running through hair, giving away a quick glimpse of a long spotted shape before the grass closes around him and then is parted again somewhere else. This fellow likes to live in out of the way places like marshy land and cool barn floors. But when the speaker was a child, He also sometimes encountered this fellow out in the broad daylight. The speaker, though he was walking by an abandoned whip rope lying in the sun. But when the speaker bent down to pick it, it wriggled away and disappeared. The speaker reflects that he is familiar with many animals and that those same animals are familiar with him in return. The speaker even feels a sense of friendship with and affection for them. But he has never had an encounter with this creature, either by himself or with company, without feeling breathless and constrained with fear. Now let us look at the contrast between each para. So the first para tells us about the introduction to the snake. The second para is about the thin and long snake with its quick movement. It talks about the structure and the movement. Para 3, where he can be found and also seen him a lot of times. Para 4, the speaker exaggerates the physical appearance by saying that he looks like a whiplash and fails to catch the snake. The fifth para, he knows all animals and has good relationship with them. He is friendly and has good connection with all the animals and they know him and he also knows them. Sixth para, never seen the snake and feels scared. So that's the contrast between each para. Now let us look at the theme. So there are various themes for this poem. I have just mentioned 4, but beyond this we have a lot of themes that you can also think and write in your exam, and as long as you give enough points and justification to justify your theme, you will be given the marks. I have given you few themes and also a little bit of explanation, but you can also use your understanding and interpretations and give your own themes. These are a few themes that I could figure out. Now let us move on to the various figures of speech and poetic devices. So the first figure of speech is a simile. The grass divides as with a comb. So, the grass gets divided as the snake moves. So, dividing of grass is compared to a comb. Just notice suddenness. This is also a simile. Metaphor. A spotted shaft is seen. Have passed, I thought, a whiplash. So, again, here there's a comparison of the movement to a whip. Now, let us look at the various personifications. A narrow fellow. So now the snake here is given human beings characteristics and attributes by saying a narrow fellow. So that's how we address humans, but not animals. So here the animal or the snake is giving the characteristic. You may have met him. So here the word him. So it's again giving the snake human characteristics by calling him a male. So again we have given the snake human attributes. Several of nature's people, again the animals are given human attributes. His notice suddenness, again here his. So again the snake is given human attributes or characteristics by calling him or his, very simple like that. Next we have alliteration. A spotted shaft is seen. Here we have the S sound, spotted shaft is seen. So we have the S sound here, so it's consonants and therefore it's an alliteration. And finally we have imagery. The grass divides as with a comb. So here the poet is giving a picture of dividing the grass. So as you read this, you can imagine a field that has grass, and as the the narrow fellow, the snake, moves, has a sudden movement, you can imagine the grass being divided like a comb into two. He likes a bogey acre. Here it is actually descriptive imagery because the poet is describing the field that the snake likes. A float to cool for corn. Here the poet gives a picture about the field and where the narrow fellow can be found. So here we come to the end of this video. I hope you have understood. Let me know if you have any doubts through the comment section below. I hope you have understood the explanation. Stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching, and let us meet again in another educational video. Till then, thank you and happy learning.